What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. When we left off in the last episode, we finally defeated gravity by employing modded thrusters. Now, I have come up with an alternative, or rather, an idea that someone gave me, created an alternative in my noggin, that I think I might end up using. I'm not sure yet. So we might be able to stick with vanilla, and it might be a little bit more intriguing. So it's something I want to play around with. I'm also trying to fix the hull here. I have come up with a tentative solution that I'm exploring to see how this works, which is this right here. Essentially what I'd be doing is keeping this type of shape like we have over here, because I really kind of like how it makes the turret look like it's a little pod arm thing off to the side. But essentially what I did was, instead of trying to keep this angle going, I basically just cut into the angle, is all I really did. Was I kept the angle going, but then I just stopped and had the metal dig into it. I think I like this. I'm not entirely sure. So I kind of want to play around with it. Let me know what you guys think. I may do one side and do the underbelly and stuff and see what I think, and let you guys see from there is kind of my thought process. As for this up here, I'm kind of thinking that I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'm almost wondering if we just move this row up one. I'm wondering if that'll work. So that was what I was about to do before I decided to start recording. So we're going to undo this row, essentially. And I'm not really sure. My nanite machine seems to be moving a little sluggish today. I'm not really sure what that's about. And I'm not 100% positive on how this is going to work in terms of a design sense. It should work, but I don't know if I'll have to move everything up one. I'll kind of have to play that by ear. Let's see. That worked. Okay. So the other idea that I was given was by a comment. I forget who it was. I normally try. I've been trying to do a lot better about naming people that do comments and stuff, but quite frankly, it's just something that it was going okay, and then I just stopped doing it, and then it just never really seemed to get back to doing it again. So I'm back to kind of the somebody told me type philosophy. But essentially it was that you could use merge blocks as a modular type thing and create a launcher, or a lander, or lander. Not really sure how that would work, but essentially it would be like the modular rockets we've seen in NASA, where they stand them up and they fly up, and then the rocket pods fall off to the side. However, and so the idea was you use hydrogen thrusters there in order to get the ship up into the atmosphere, then it kicks over to ion, which got me thinking. It would be a cool idea, but I don't like just typical NASA type ships. They're sciencey, but they're kind of dull to me. Because, this is fiction. We don't have to be limited by what we actually can do in real life. Why not just make up that we can do other stuff? But what I always liked, what I always found interesting was, if any of you remember, if you've seen the Star Wars prequels, and which most of you are probably on my channel watching a space Let's Play, you've probably seen Star Wars before. I believe it was episode 2 where they first showed it, but it's that Jedi Starfighter ring kind of thing. And essentially it's like a hyperspace ring, or whatever, a lightspeed ring, whatever you want to call it, in that world, that it allowed the smaller ship to make like hyperspace jumps. Oops, nope, don't want that. Don't do that. Which is really cool. It's a neat idea. But that got me thinking, instead of maybe hyperspace, why not use a similar design for the atmospheric module lander thingy, the bobber, which definitely requires a better name. That definitely needs to have a different name. And if I did that, I could probably go back to... It is a block, right? Yeah, I think it's a block. I could probably go back to the regular ion thrusters. However, I don't know how much I'd need, to be honest. I don't know how many of them I'd actually need to fly it correctly. But what I'm thinking is making a ring-like shape and possibly having a merge block. Actually, let me actually see what a merge block would look like on a small ship. So it would require a 3x3 space. I don't think I have very many of those. Unfortunately, it's the best 3x3 spaces are where the turrets are, so that's not going to work. I could maybe put this ramp up there and then extend this out a little bit and put a merge block right there. I technically only need one, I guess. I could put one on the top and one on the bottom. But essentially what I could do, it almost would work like a, yeah, it would almost be like a modular thing of, like a transformer where the modular ring that this sits in would actually have the landing gears, another connector to dock into the base connection, hydrogen tanks and hydrogen thrusters in the various different directions. And essentially what it would let me do is dock the ring to the base, merge the ring with the ship, fill up the tanks with the base generators that create oxygen and hydrogen, and then you would lift off. And the reason I'm coming up with it this way is because it would basically be an atmospheric thing that once you got out into space, you just leave it. Like, you'd undock it and you'd leave it floating there, and then you could fly off wherever. And when you came back to try and land again, you'd redock with it, and then you could land that way. That's why I said it would have to be a landing, like it would have to have the landing gears on it. I kind of like that, though. It's an interesting idea, and it would get rid of these merge blocks, these void thrusters, and it would keep it vanilla, which is a cool idea, and it's something I've been trying to do as long as I can, is keep everything kind of vanilla. So kudos to that idea. I think it'll work. It just requires basically some testing kind of thing and seeing how everything works. All right, so with that said, we've got this back plate done over here, so let's play around with this and see if we can get this a little bit more ironed out where we want this. Now, let's see. So we would actually be doing this, and I think if we do the same type of shape here, it'll probably be right about here that we end up bringing it back into... I've got a lot of different shapes going on here. This is gonna suck. So I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but one way or another, we've been putting these ramp heads where they are, right there. I guess I'll go ahead and do these as well, because they kind of finish off the shape anyway. And then I've been doing this guy like that, and then where's the other one? This guy goes here, I think. I think this will work. We're just going to go ahead and do it. And if we need to change something, we'll change it. But it will complete the shape, essentially, for what we've been, our kind of scheme that we have going on for these right here. And then, where is it? This one goes there. Okay. And then if we need to, we can do what we did up here, where we'll just put the square, we'll just put the square blocks in here if we need to for shape design kind of thing. I don't know yet. We'll see. So let me... Oh! That actually works out perfectly. Alright, so check this out. This is pretty cool. I didn't actually mean to do this, but it's working, so that's kind of neat. No. Actually, no, this one's fine. Nope. Wrong way. I think these need to go, because these have to be this one for this to work. Right, like that? No. Like that. There we go. One of these days, people, I will figure out how to rotate these things without issue. It's not today, but it'll happen. And then we put one of these guys, like, oh, pish posh. Fine, whatever. So that works. And then I'll keep that shape. I think we're getting somewhere with the hull. I think this is coming together. One thing I did want to bring up too is my recent mentioning of potentially phasing out the Space Engineers stuff. I think I've found part of the problem, if I'm being bluntly honest. Wait, connector 2? What is all this stuff stuck in connector 2? Weird. So, if I'm being blunt, I think I'm starting to realize where I find the lacking spots of the game. And quite frankly, it's the survival part. I think that's what bores me. I like building ships, I like designing new ships, I like coming up with new ships and testing them out, but the survival thing never really quite feels like it has a goal for me. This is my personal opinion. If you don't feel that way, great. But for me, I feel like it lacks a goal. And I think it's a big problem with a lot of survival games, because quite frankly, even stuff like Minecraft, I've played it for years, but I'll play it for a while, and then eventually I get kind of like, I lose focus, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Like, and what I mean by that is not ADD of, oh, it's over there, but just, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing this for, kind of thing. What's the goal? What's the end game? And frankly, with... It's difficult, because with Minecraft, it's something where there's a lot of different kinds of block types. It's not all just steel or glass. There's wood, there's stone, there's marble, there's, you know, there's a lot of different kind of things. And since you can't paint in Minecraft, that basically was done for the color scheme. Well, I say paint. Modded, obviously, there's not a lot you can't do, but... and with Space Engineers, there are things like the wood and blah, 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 blah that have been modded in, but unlike something like Empyrean, where it's built into the base game, there's not as much design style. It always, and what I mean by that is, without doing some heavy modding, you could not make a wooden ship, basically, like an ocean sailing wooden looking ship. Or something to that effect. That's what I mean. Non-modded, you could not do that in the game. Theoretically, you could do it in something like Empyrean because it does have wood, but you get my point. The point is essentially that with more versatility comes more options, which takes longer before you start feeling like I'm running out of things to do. And I think where building ships is almost kind of limitless. You can just, like, and I mean that by creative. Like, creative builds you can just kind of build. But if building is the point, then to me, and this is also coming from a video maker as well, if I was just playing the game, I probably wouldn't care too much about the survival aspect. Taking things longer, it would make things feel more earned. You know, I built this massive space station, it took me a year to gather all the resources, blah, blah, blah. But as a video maker, all of that grind work is just, it takes up a lot of my time off camera because I don't want to do it on camera because it's boring. Essentially, that's the that's the shortest way I can explain that. So I hope that's coming out clear, and I think the big issue is the survival aspect of it slowing down the creativity side, which is the overall drive to making the game interesting, kind of thing. So, I don't know. I think, like I said, there's some things like Stationeers, which doesn't really focus on ships, but it's logistics. It's making sure all your systems work right and connect and blah, blah, blah. And I think part of it, bottom line, is I've been playing Space Engineers for a long time. I've been putting out Space Engineers content for years now. And I think that's kind of the bottom line, is no matter how good the game is and how much stuff they had available to it, I think at a certain point everybody just gets a little bit bored. So I don't think that I'll probably be, like, not doing Space Engineers anymore ever, kind of thing. I'll probably keep the Inspiration series going for probably until they stop making cool ships. But I think the Let's Play is what I'm focused on. The inspiration one I don't really care about doing. I mean, that's fine. That's what I mean by that. Not that I don't care about doing it. But I will admit this. I don't vocalize this very often, but I have to admit, the Space Engineers Inspiration series is probably my least favorite to record. Like, I know it's been my most popular series, and everybody really enjoys it, which is why I intend to keep doing it. But in terms of, like, the setup and the work and all that kind of stuff behind recording it, it's just not as fun to record for me. It's fun to look at all the ships. Once I'm, like, hit the record button and looking through all the ships, I have fun. But the actual process of recording the episodes, it's not all that interesting to me. It's like... It's weird. It's weird because it's like my #1 series, and it's really not my favorite to record. Again, like I said, looking at the ships I look at... No, I love the ships. I wouldn't pick them if I didn't. But just kind of the whole process behind recording it isn't all that entertaining to me. But I'll probably be doing that for a while. I don't see that ending anytime soon. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to do these two. I need something to blend these together. Let's work on this up here, I think, for a minute. So yeah, I'm just trying to clarify a little bit. I'm not trying to rant again. I'm just trying to clarify some of what I had said and explain myself a little bit, in that I don't really intend to end the series or anything anytime soon. They won't just abruptly stop, kind of thing. I'd like to get them to a gradual point. However, the one thing I am thinking about doing is possibly converting this to a creative build, and continuing it as like a Let's Build, or finishing this off, and then once this ship is done, starting a Let's Build series up again. I did start an episode a while back, and I never really did anything with it because I wasn't sure if it was going to go anywhere. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's things I'm considering with, you know, should I shake things up a bit, kind of thing. But yeah, so like I said, I'm just trying to clear up a little bit and clarify some of my comments on that type of scenario. Not really sure what to do here with this. This is a little interesting. This part worked better, marrying into this and connecting with what we had going on here, but this part, not so much. I could curve this and just kind of end it there, I guess, but then I'd have to curve this, maybe? I don't know if I'd like to do that or not. I suppose, in terms of like an Occam's razor type thing, I could just do this here. And I suppose, technically speaking, there's no real reason I couldn't do that here either, other than it makes it one lower, but that might not be a problem. I don't know, I might do that on the other side and see what happens. Do my infamous left-right test. Okay, so if I do that, I need to cap this off somehow, though. I suppose the simplest solution, I don't know if it would look the best, would be to do something like this. Not a fan. Not a fan of that one. I also have not found any real use for these half slopes yet, but I'd kind of like to, because they seem like they'd be useful, but I can't figure out how to use them yet. So used to all of the other blocks that, oh, wait a minute, why can't... Oh, I guess it just won't work that way. I would like to get it to do that, like it's doing right there, but like move up one. I guess there's no way to do that. We also have the half step. Wonder if I can make use of that somehow. No, because you can't put you can't do combined blocks. That would be useful, just saying. Not like I haven't said that before. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to do something like this, but then I don't know how to connect it up with this shape here, because this doesn't work very well here. I could lower this, maybe? I wonder if that would work. But if I lower this, if I brought this down one, that's yet another example of why we should probably do get rid of the void thrusters, is because I'd kind of like to put them in a different spot anyway for this hull shape if I really wanted to do this right. Because what I'm thinking is if I lowered this down one and this was already connected, I wouldn't have to do something silly like put this here like this, because that just looks weird. That wouldn't work well. Let me try that. I think overall, I did the void thrusters because they worked, but I think overall I like... Nope. Ooh. That was almost a disaster. I like the void thrusters personally, but without... without thruster damage, there's not a whole lot about them that is different from regular thrusters. They're particularly useful if you're going to be doing thruster damage, because then you can basically fly without hurting the ship. But if you have thruster damage turned off like I do anyway, they don't serve that much of a purpose. And so I'm going to... I like my idea, or, well, rather, the idea that was come up with. It's not the proper way you should say that, but whatever. I do like the idea of the landing ring, essentially, though. So I also like the idea that it would keep it kind of vanilla. So I think we're going to do just that. Because... Oops. Because, like I said, if I can keep it vanilla, I'd like to for as long as possible, before we really, like, need mods. The whole drill platform and nanobot thing just kind of basically turned it into creative for me, which was yet another example of where I was coming up with that theory that I think what is the proper term here that I'm looking for? My restlessness? That is a good way to describe how I've been feeling about my Space Engineers Let's Play, is restless. It's like, I'm doing it, I'm having fun building this ship and things and building the base and all this stuff, but it feels very lost in terms of direction and what we're doing, where we're going. Like, even, I guess that's my thing. Like, we build this, right? We do all this, we get the ship, we get power, we get resources, we build a ship, we go to space, then what? You know, it's like, I mean, yes, there's cargo ships and stuff that you can run into out there. Yes, there's things that but there's no, like, thing to do, if that makes sense. It's like you just build. And it would be different if it was like a No Man's Sky where you could explore kind of thing. Like, there's a lot of different sights to see, but there really isn't. There's just kind of like space and asteroids and planets and, you know. So, and please don't take this the wrong way that I'm like bashing on the game. I'm not. I'm just kind of explaining, because every game is their own game, as far as some are good, some are bad, but some are just what they set out to do. And Space Engineers set out to be more realistic than something like No Man's Sky, or even Elite Dangerous, where you have this huge galaxy to explore. It was more about the mechanics and the ships and the engineering, and I get that. And you could say, well, obviously, Sparrow, once you get out into space, then you have to build a space station, and then you have to build a Death Star, and then you have to build, you know, like... But, again, it's different when it's coming at it from the point of view of a video maker, because I see all that, and I don't have time to do that off camera. And if I don't have time to do it off camera, it means I have to do it on camera, which is incredibly boring. If we're being bluntly honest. It's like... Even this, what I'm doing right now, is because I'm crunched for time this week. I mentioned that in my Elite Dangerous episode. If you guys missed that, then you wouldn't be aware. But I did mention that in my Elite episode, where I had some stuff that came up that kind of screwed with my schedule this week, and so I was recording on a different day. I didn't have as much time, etc. and so on. By the way, I love how it welds this before it grinds it back down. It's very funny. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it, though, as I think that's what's going on. Ooh, I just realized something. Could I have done that one block closer? If I could do that one block closer, I could put angle blocks there. Oh, that wouldn't work anyway, because it leaves the corner open. Alright, well, I might just have to bite the bullet here and do something like this. I'm not a fan of leaving edges open. I like to have everything closed off, and in case you're wondering what that means, this. This right here is what I'm talking about. I don't like leaving edges like that, but with the fairly simplistic block selection available to me, you know, whenever you're dealing with block-based games, Minecraft or stuff like that, I don't think you can ever really do good circles or curves or stuff like that. So sometimes you just gotta go with it. This kind of ties in somewhat. I'm not really sure where this is all gonna go, though. Trying to connect this has been a pain in the butt. I could just walk this down, I guess. Oh, right there. Boom. Boom. Done. That was an easy shape to get. I've got to do some, well, I might have to do some different stuff, because I gotta get this to curve back in. Why do I always build ships that are curvy? I really should stop doing that. They're just so cool looking. Yeah, because this was... This may not work the way that I forgot all about this type of thing here, where I built it straight up, but then it's supposed to curve back up and meet up with this guy. So it's got to have an arc here. So this section I just did right here may not work. Poo. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and finish this part off then. At least we can kind of taper the back and get that set up, I think. Oh, wait, no. That's... Okay, I got it. I was like, how did I do this before? It's because I used a slope block here. Actually, hold up. Could I use... I'm dying to use these somewhere, and I cannot figure out a way to make them useful. In case that wasn't apparent, that's exactly what was going on there. It was like, ooh, I might have found a spot to use these. Nope. Still can't get them to be useful for anything. But yeah, so I don't know. Some of this might just be me ranting. It may just be this week. I'm just feeling that way. I don't know. Time will tell. And I've had some people that were supportive of the idea of changing up the series. I've had some people that said they really liked the series and hoped it didn't go anywhere. So, you know, you guys have been no help at all. But no, so seriously though, it's just one of those that, I think what really did it, what really made me think of it is I've been doing this and it's just been kind of samey. It's been kind of routine of just kind of go through the motions. And we have a problem here, don't we? Because now that I've done that, I've got to merge it in with the angle. Ugh. Okay, so... Well, this is annoying. I can't get away from these ramps. Once I started using these ramps, now I gotta keep using them or else everything breaks. I mean, I guess this works. It wasn't quite the shape I was thinking of, nor is it tall enough. That's the other issue here. I actually need this to be taller, I think, to meet up with this guy up here. Unless I just make the top a lot taller. Oh, wait, no. I have an idea. Ideas are happening. Let's keep this theme going. Okay. let's get rid of you and you. Clear up some space, and let's get rid of all this over here. Because you're useless where you are right now. And you know what? Since this is kind of broke at this point and I'll have to move it all down anyway, let's just go ahead and get rid of all this. I'm just doing a redesign. There we go. I probably should stop doing like a shape here, and try and get it to connect. I probably should just pick a spot on the ship and build it one way and then build another way and just have a central, like, I should have started with the top here and just had a central idea kind of thing, and I didn't really do it that way. But my thought process is to use the ramps to fix the gap, essentially, like bring it down. Okay. Whatever that was. I had that happen in the inspiration episode the other day. I closed the door on myself and it sent me flying through space. Yeah, well, I was thinking that might work. That might work, but it might look stupid. Well, this is not coming out the way that I was hoping it would. This isn't really working because essentially I need to start using the... When I move this up, it kind of broke stuff because now it's not going to meet up quite right. So I was thinking of doing the vertical ones kind of like this here, but for this, so where we go 2 down, but it would make it look really L-shaped instead of the slope I was kind of going for. But if I did the angle blocks like this to meet the taper, then that wouldn't work because of how this is set up. So I basically pretty much just can't win, it seems, with this hull design stuff. Yeah, this is not going well. But so anyways, we're running a little bit low on time, so I don't think I'm going to have a chance to fix this episode. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to get these two to talk to each other correctly, because I'm just looking at it, and if I want it to meet up with that, there's just not enough space, because this is going to take at least another row or two of step up to reach that, and it's not going to work. Well, hold on. Before we wrap this up, there is one other thing I didn't account for, and that's that there is a spacer here of that, which means I could put a block here. Can't do that because then that wouldn't look right. No, it's gonna want me to use ramps, and if I use ramps, that's 2, and then that's 3, so it would be below this threshold. Dagnabbit. Oh, wait a minute, wait. Nope, I screwed this up. I don't need to do this. I didn't see it before. Did not see it before, but I almost screwed that up. Okay, so what I actually need to do is do another vertical row, or 2, 9, like this. And then that way, I can do a block here, and then do a block here. Right? That works, right? I think? Maybe? I don't know that it looks very good, but it works. I'm not too thrilled with that, but it does work. Although, no, actually it won't. Fart nugger. Because I have to put a ramp here to do this. Alright, let's try and just walk this out, I guess. Unless I did it... Hold up. Hold up. This whole thing is screwed up. I didn't go low enough. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna wrap up the episode. Actually, you know what? Let me just pause this and tinker with this, and then I'll come back and do my last little talky bit after this is done. Okay, so once again, it didn't really come out the way I wanted, but it's not terrible. It's not bad. But there's still probably some room for improvement. This top part came out better than I expected. The back is a little taller than I would have liked. I suppose, you know, there is another option here. I'm wondering if I could actually get rid of this. Alright, so I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna leave this hull where it is. Because I might not end up actually going through with this. But this is an interesting concept to me. But essentially what I'm thinking is to use a little frame here to raise it up past this level, and then slap the gun turret on top, and then it would make the top part come down more, is kind of what I'm thinking. Is that on there right? I think that works. So that'll bring it level. Now, here's the only other thing, is merge block wise, we would need one block higher than that. So let's go with one more. And then do the gun turret. I should still have my turrets equipped here somewhere. No? Maybe? Nowhere? I have missile turrets. Where's my Gatling turrets? Oh, whatever. Here. So, then we'll put that there. Now, that doesn't lower it that much, really. But I do think the profile comes down a lot from there. And essentially I could just either taper it a bit more. Like I could bring this down and maybe not do one of these vertical layers. I could do just a taper layer. Or I could make the top part a little wider. So essentially though, I know I said I was going to leave this, but I do like this, I think. So I do think I'm going to rid myself of this. Actually, I really did not employ using those frames enough, in my opinion. I kind of forget about them a lot. But they're a really easy way of cutting down on the number of conveyors that you would need, like in terms of height. If you needed a couple more conveyors, but you didn't want to go all the way as like 6 blocks out, you know, you can do it that way. Okay, random. And you know, I actually kind of like the profile this way. I think it works. Otherwise, I was going to say I could have done the same thing over there. But I do think I like the profile there. And in terms of vertically, I think that sits a little bit nicer, and it'll make the back shape a little bit better. Another alternative we have, let me know what you guys think about this, is I could actually move this and put this guy there, put that tank there, and then put this up further to where it would be like right in there, and then I could taper this back a little bit more. Let me know what you guys think about that. I know, like I said, the original design was for SWAT-bot type ships, so it's supposed to go further back and then have a sharper drop-off on the back. So I think it's fine. But really what I think I need to do is I need to follow this convention and then just kind of end it and cut it off there. I was trying to kind of follow this along the edge, but I think that might be hurting me right now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. In the meantime, I think we're going to wrap things up for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.